Welcome viewers to the Further Education Trust for Leadership interview with Russell Gunson, who is the Director of IPPR, that's the Institute of Public Policy Research in Scotland. Russell has been doing some projects as part of FETL's research, and of course FETL's research is all about writing scripts for the future. We are an independent think tank dedicated to the leadership of thinking, in the hope that the work that comes from FETL can be offered to all involved in the skills system, the FE skills system, the education system wider, as ideas for the future, so that we can do the best we can by learners who trust us with their futures. Russell Gunson, who led the research, is with us today, and we're going to be talking about his latest report, which is a comparative study really on the countries of Scotland and Northern Ireland. Welcome, Russell, and I'm really very pleased to be talking to you today. And the point of talking to you is really to open up the reports you've written, which are very enjoyable and very clear to our audience, to people in FE who want to know more about what you were doing and why you were doing it, and actually what did you find there. So could you start by telling us a bit about the IPPR, the Institute of Public Policy Research, and your connection with that and really how that led into the project?
Yes, so IPPR, so it's the Institute for Public Policy Research, where the UK's leading progressive think tank based in London, Manchester, Newcastle, and 3 years ago we set up IPPR Scotland based in Edinburgh. So IPPR Scotland has, as I say, just been going over 3 years with one of the few think tanks in Scotland, and it's been interesting as more powers have been devolved since 1999 in Scotland and since the independence referendum of a few years ago. We haven't seen that culture and that think tank sector, and more generally that support for decision making exist in Scotland. So our purpose really is to support decisions with evidence and with new ideas, and we've been able to do that in a good few policy areas, including with FETL on the skills system.
Good. So tell us about the project. I mean, FETL was very keen to work with you to learn about what's going on in the other nations. FETL is a four nations think tank, and we didn't want to be focused solely here. So the project is taking you into places that we want you to be in.
Yeah, so we began working together with FETL, I think 2 years ago now, looking at some of the challenges that we, or should I say the skills system in Scotland saw coming. We built on that with some work in Northern Ireland with FETL to do a similar, almost equivalent bit of work. So what are the challenges that Northern Ireland and Scotland face? What does the skills systems in each of those areas think are the challenges that it should be wrestling with? And we built on that over this last 2 years to look at what therefore success looks like. So what do you want to achieve through your skills system? And with this last report, this latest report last week, at the end of November, we built on that to look at what needs to change and what needs to stay the same. So if you like, recommendations for the future to build a 21st century skills system for Northern Ireland and separately for Scotland too.
And what were you looking for? I mean, tell us about the design of the project, because you must have had an idea in your mind that you wanted to excavate for us.
Well, I think the first place to start is that often when we get into thinking about the future, the part of the skills system that we were most interested in, that being post-16 training, education, vocational learning, FE apprenticeships, those parts of the skills system, often those can be overlooked. So rather than overlooking them, rather than looking to universities and schools, which can dominate, we wanted to look at what, for this part of the skills system, the future looked like. And we wanted to do that with the skills system itself. So rather than us as experts, in inverted commas, rather than us coming in and telling the skills system what it should be looking at, we wanted to speak to the skills system itself. So we've done a range of interviews, roundtables, research events with people that work within post-16 education, learning and training in both Scotland and Northern Ireland, and those that work close to it. And out of it, we wanted therefore to have buy-in for, firstly, what the challenges are that we're all facing. Secondly, for the measures of success, so that when we came to the recommendations, the third part, that they weren't entirely from us. In many ways, they were built from the skills systems themselves.